Guys, are we seeing this? Are we seeing this? I love this blanket, but it actually makes me look like I have a raging dandruff problem. Get out. Dude, this is all fluff in my hair. Do you see this? This is just all fluff in my hair. See? Get out. Oh my god, guys. Okay, guys, so I've had some technical problems, and essentially for my TBR, I'm just gonna tell you the books that I want to read this month. You know, I had other plans, they all fell through. But I'm wearing my cute red pajamas, and I'm thinking it's very festive. I do have some Grinch ones. We'll be acquiring more Christmas pajamas. That's neither here nor there, and really I need to be saving more money, so I really shouldn't. That's okay. Let's talk about the books that I want to read this December. We're gonna start off with, also, let me preface, I'm not gonna be really saying much about the plots or anything, because normally I like to know like what I'm getting into, but for Christmas books, I feel like because they're typically on the shorter side, I don't want to know too much, and I kind of just want to read them and then find out for myself, because then I'm not like knowing what the plot is, and then half the book I'm just like waiting for that thing to happen because I already know what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the most wonderful crime of the year. Also, all of this will be on my iPad because some of the books I do own, I can't find them. They're downstairs somewhere. Cannot find them. Or I did find them and I can't find them now. And also, a lot of these I'm going to be reading on Kindle or listening to the audiobook of them. And the most wonderful crime of the year. This book was very popular last year and I could not find it. I could not find it. It just kept saying that it was going to be released later. I don't know if it's because I'm in Australia or not. And then this year I tried to get it again and it's like sold out, or I could only buy it from like this random place, and I was like, what? But I'm assuming from the cover it's got romance elements, thriller elements, Christmas elements, and I'm like, that honestly sounds really good. So I've heard actually mixed things about this. When it first came out, I swear I heard people loving it, and then the reviews are not very good, but then also I feel like people are harsher on holiday books potentially. Anyways, moving on, we then have A Christmas Carol. I love A Christmas Carol. This will be my 3rd year reading this. I love this book so much. It is 5 stars. It is just the messages behind it, the way it's written, the storyline. It is so creative. It is so interesting. I love this book so much. I love the movies. Love the movies. We'll be watching the movies this December because I love them. I love them. Also, actually, I might tell you some of the Christmas movies that I could be watching. Maybe. Wait, no, I'll tell you now. The Grinch, the original Grinch, The Polar Express, Arthur Christmas, A Christmas Carol, obviously. I feel like there could be other ones. Whatever. But I love the setting, the storyline, the plot, the characters, just everything about this. It's so good. So I will be doing another reread of it. Because then I feel like this is a good little tradition I've started for myself. Because it's also really quite short. But I always leave it to like the last minute and I'm reading it like on Christmas. So maybe I need to read it like 2 days before Christmas Eve. Or on Christmas Eve, you know? Next we have Sarah Morgan's All Together for Christmas. This is a new book. I apparently was in Big W in Kmart and I was gonna go to get it, and then I went and then they didn't have it. And then everywhere was out of stock. Like literally everywhere was out of stock. I found one place that apparently had it in stock, but it was like, I don't know, 10 hours drive from like where I am, and I was like, no. So I ordered this online. I don't know when it's actually going to arrive because also everything is delayed because of Christmas. But like, I read one of her books last year and I really liked it. It was really cozy, it was cute. I just really love the vibes. And I like the cover and promise I feel like I'm gonna like it. And I'm assuming it's a whole bunch of people who are getting all together for Christmas. And in that other book, it was very heartwarming that I read by her. It was just had the perfect Christmas things. Did it have the perfect Christmas things? I actually don't remember, but I remember it was very cozy. I'm really disappointed that I couldn't get this because my whole entire plan was for me to go and get this, but then I couldn't because it wasn't in stock anywhere. But it just seems really good. So, and typically her books have like they have pretty good reviews, which is good because for seasonal books I feel like, yeah, again, people rate them harshly. Next we have Holiday Ever After. So this is the same author that wrote Icebreaker. So Icebreaker, I read it like when it first came out, back before her best friend's name was changed. Like that's how early on I read Icebreaker. And I remember like that book, it wasn't the best, but it was very invested, and I read it on my phone, so it was really like I was reading like a Wattpad book. And I read it really fast and I was very invested, and I remember like I was complaining to my family about it, and I was just, yeah. And then I read Daydream, and no, I didn't read Daydream. What is the second one called? See, these books, that's the thing, like they're kind of forgettable. I read the pink one, Wildfire, the one with the summer camp, and it was like alright, it was just like standard, like it wasn't the greatest, but like it's just like what it was, you know. And then I need to read Daydream, and I was actually really invested and I wanted to read more of that, but I just haven't finished it, and I said I was going to ages ago and I just never did. But also, I'm surprised because I thought that this was going to be like a long book series, but there's like only 3 of them. And I'm like, I thought the whole point was introducing all those other characters was so they'd all get a book. You know, because like one of the main things about Icebreaker was that you literally got introduced to 27 million characters. Anyways, this is a cute holiday one. And this was also a book that I was trying to buy, and it was out of stock everywhere. So I also ordered this online. Don't know how long it's going to take to get here. But it's just, I don't know. It is what it is. I will still be, you know, reading them when I can. But yeah, so I'm excited for this. I've not actually heard anyone say anything about it, actually. So I'm curious to see. Next up, Holiday Romance. This is a book that is from my TBR from last year, and I'm very intrigued and interested. I never ended up reading it, but I read through so many Christmas books last year. There was so many books that I read, and I filmed like all of them. There were so many, and it says she's meant to be catching flights, not feelings. It says it's a romantic comedy. Now, typically I don't really like romantic comedies in books because I feel like they're so cringy. I feel like some of the stuff that the characters say are meant to be quirky and funny, but I'm just a little bit like, ugh, like why would you say that? But like, hopefully this is fine. I can't remember why I didn't read this. I don't know if it was because I started reading it and I was like, I can't do it. Because there are a few books that I did start reading them and I was like, I can't do it. I can't remember if this is the one that I was like that, because this was over a year ago and a lot has happened since then. You know what? I don't know. If I could see myself this time last year, I don't know what I would say about this year. I don't know what I would say, actually. Oh my god, this matches my outfit. I need to paint my nails, actually. I don't need to paint my nails. Okay. Next we have Holiday Cottage, right? This is another book from my TBR that's from last year. I don't have this physically. I wanted to save this for this year. And, well, do I want to save it this year? So you guys, I have like a very good memory. Like, and I remember like really unimportant things. But my brain makes links with everything, you know? So I find out everything. I find out everything. Like, I find out everything. Like, and because I remember things, and all it takes is for one person to say one thing, and I'm like, hang on, that doesn't align with what you said 3 months ago at this time. And especially if you're talking to someone who they have a bad memory, it's so easy to like pick and be like, there's something not right about that. Yeah, I do find out everything because I remember everything and I make links, but I don't. Sorry, I thought I heard something. I thought I heard someone moving around. It's the ghost of Christmas Past trying to get me. Can't remember why I didn't read it, even though I know I just said I remember everything. But I think this book, I think I was like, I can save it for next year because I actually really liked the one I read last year. So it's like, I can save them for next year, you know? And then we have The Christmas Tree Farm. Now, this book I am apprehensive about. This is the last one, yes. I'm apprehensive about it because of all the, you know, drama with the first book. Okay, there was no drama with the first book. People were just like, this is written horribly and it's so bad. But, you know, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, whatever it's called. But this, I don't remember what anyone said. Okay, I know I'm contradicting myself. I remember some things. Some things I remember. See, look at Paddington. He's so fluffy. He's got all the fluff all over him from my blanket. I have so many blankets all stacked over me. Anyways, The Christmas Tree Farm, I'm curious about this. I want to know. I'm curious. Okay, and it's just crazy fun. I'm not expecting much. Okay, hang on. But I'm thinking I can give it a chance and then I can give you my thoughts, because honestly, some of these books, like, you need to go in with the expectation of what they are. Like, they're Christmas books. You need to go into expectation. And yes, there are some amazing Christmas books. Yes, some of the Christmas books, you read them and you're like, that is so good. I really thoroughly enjoyed that. Last Christmas, I read a few really good ones, right? So that's good. I think definitely a lot of my enjoyment was because sorry guys, I'm just making sure no one hits my car because I'm really paranoid about that. No. I get nervous that when you say something, like, it's gonna make it happen, because there were so many times where I say things and then, I don't know, it literally, like, so my bookshelves, right? So I moved, right? And the removalists put my bookshelves in front of like the power board thing. Well, to be fair, I was like, put it in that corner. The other corner had like a PowerPoint and they didn't want to put it in front of that, so they just put it there. But the only thing is like how it pulls out, and we were like, well, we kind of need to move that. We consulted and we're like, we need to move that because, sorry, my alarm went off. But we consulted and we're like, well, if the power goes off or something, we need to access it. And then last night, well, the power goes off everywhere and there's this loud, irritating ringing, so bad to the point where, like, we had to leave. Like, anyways, it was just an entire situation. But yeah, I have lots of like Christmas. What was I getting at here? Oh yeah, I'm scared sometimes if I say things, it's gonna happen, because there's so many times where like I say things and then things happen. Anyway, I have a lot of Christmas thrillers that I've downloaded, all from like Kindle, and I think there's some on my Audible that are for free. And then also I'm gonna peruse my library options because there's this one author and her books kept coming up, and I'm like, maybe I might look at them and see what the vibe is and see kind of like what's going on and how it is. And yeah, so I am not gonna go through all of them. Actually, I will. No, I have them. Well, there won't be the pictures. Yes, it will be. Give me a second. Look at this fluff, guys. I do not have a raging dino problem. Okay. Okay, so now we're getting into the free books TBR. So these are all books that I never back to free. Some of the other ones I am assuming some of them are free because from where I found them. But I'm going to show you. Okay, so these are all like relatively short. So we have The Uninvited Guest. It looks like that. I never wanted him here, yet he refuses to stay. And it's about... See, what does this mean? This is intriguing because it says, when my wife returns home with her work colleague on Christmas Eve, oh, never mind, I didn't read that properly. I was going to be like, who? But who did she want to say? When my wife returns home with her work colleague on Christmas Eve, nothing I do or say will change her mind about having invited him to spend Christmas with us. He shouldn't be alone, she insists. Oh, guys, okay. What are you gonna do? You are planning to spend a Christmas with your significant other. They bring home someone who's probably in love with them. They bring home someone who's probably in love with them to spend Christmas with you guys. What are you doing? You're gonna let it slide? You're gonna let them happen? What's the situation? Yes. What's the situation? What's the context? Guys, I'm telling you, I have raging jealousy problems. Help me. No, I don't need to get help, but I'm not doing it. Anyways, so I'm interested in that. Now I actually really want to read that actually because I'm like, what's going on here? And like, why would she ever do that? It can't simply be because of she was being nice. Actually, there is one Christmas book. It's not a Christmas book, but it was one of my childhood books because I have a tattoo home, so all my childhood books are here. Probably somewhere in this room. Let me find it actually. I think it's in that book. Found it. Okay, this book is not a Christmas book, right? And also don't read it because I read some parts of it a few years ago and I was like, wow, that's actually really problematic. It's really problematic, but like, I read these books when I was so young, that in one of the books, right, the girl was talking about a period and I was so confused because I was so young, I didn't even know what a period was, and I was like, you mean a full stop? And I was like, that doesn't make any sense, and I just remember distinctly being like, what is that? So like, that's how young I was when I read all these. But it's about this girl and literally like she moves country, and like there's some exploration a little bit about like racism and xenophobia and stuff like that in this. Anyways, but there's a part in this book where then at the end it's like Christmas and like no one's there, but then everyone comes together and it's like really wholesome and nice, and I will allow that. So definitely I threw that and it landed back in the box perfectly. Xmas break, right? So it looks like this. And I lied, I'm telling you about these ones because I can see the little descriptions, but not like all of it. But it says, when Isla reluctantly accepts her estranged sister Clara's invitation to spend Christmas at a luxury mountain retreat, she expects an awkward family tension, not a fight for survival. This sounds really good as well. Because like, anyways, that house looks so cozy. It's my dream to go to a cozy cabin, actually, I think. Anyways, next we have Gone by Christmas. And this book says, her daughter vanished after the Christmas market. Her husband insists he knows nothing. The evidence says otherwise. Oh, I do love a missing person book. In real life, terrible, hate it. But in books and stuff, it's very interesting because I'm so sorry about that background noise. But in the background, my mind is not working. It's just so like, who did it? And it's going through all the leads and stuff. Grandma's House, I already read that. There's a reading book of that. I'm deleting that picture. We then have Christmas Revenge. It says, after their mother is left with life-changing injuries from being attacked in their home, sisters Violet and Rose react differently. Rose grows up seemingly well balanced, while Violet, who witnessed a Christmas Eve assault, can think of nothing but vengeance. When a freak accident brings Violet face to face with the intruder, 15 years of torture culminate in the opportunity for cold, hard revenge. But while Violet worms her way into the attacker's life, Rose discovers their father is not the man they thought they knew. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't like really intrigue me that much. Next we have 25 Candles. And it says, when nurse Hannah Mark loses a patient, she returns to her hometown for an escape. Although she hasn't visited since her father's funeral, Ridge is still the idyllic town she remembers it to be. Also, I feel like it's a staple in Christmas books to have like a really cozy, cute town. Every December, the townsfolk light a candle each night to count down to Christmas. Despite the fire at the orphanage that claimed the lives of all the children years ago. It says 25 days, 25 chapters. So I'd be interested to see what's going on here. Next, we have The Christmas Pact. And it says, 5 friends, 1 pact, a Christmas reunion, none of them will survive. I've also read A Christmas Reunion. 10 years ago, 5 university students, they promised, if one of us calls for help, the others come. No questions asked. This Christmas, the call arrives. They gather at a remote, snowbound lodge, only to find their friend dead. A message pinned to his chest. One of you broke the pact, one of you killed me. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, guys. I'm sorry. It's early, but I have to do this before I go to work. So I'm actually curious. I'm interested in this actually. That's bumped up to my TBR. Then we have the Christmas guest. It says Santa has secrets, and so does he. Who's he? This book says, ooh, smart, sexy, and utterly addictive. The romantic popcorn thriller you will gobble up. Ew, I hate that word. I hate that word. I hate that word. I despise that word. Get that word away from me. Get it away from me. It says, when handsome author Nate moves into Laura's picturesque guest house in coastal Maine, it seems like a holiday fairy tale. That's all we got. Okay, I can't say anything else. Now, I don't know. I feel like romance with some thrillers is something that like I want to get into, but like I haven't really read much about it. So I'm interested. Next we have Her Silent Night, and it says, this Christmas, a season of joy turns into a terrifying game of revenge. A man dressed as Santa is found murdered and shoved up a chimney. A meticulously staged scene straight out of a nightmare. Days later, another murder staged like a twisted Christmas display is discovered. With every gruesome crime comes a taunting Christmas card bearing a hand-drawn snowflake, delivered directly to P.I. Martina Monroe's door. This sounds actually interesting. Next we have the Christmas thriller killer. I can read actually. It says, D.I. James Walker is ready for a quiet family Christmas in the sleepy village of Kirky Abbey. Obviously that's not the case, is it? Then we have King of Christmas. You have so many of these. I'm not going to be reading all these, but I just want to, to have a selection. It says, not every path leads to the truth, but everyone brings you closer. 8 missing children, 1 urban legend, a town that stopped asking questions. I actually love like the whole like little legends and stuff like that in towns, and I don't know. I'm curious about this. The Christmas Guest, we already read that out of there. This is another Sarah and Morgan book. This is The Christmas Sisters, and this is for Fair and Kindle Unlimited. And it says, in the snowy highlands of Scotland, Suzanne McBride is dreaming of the perfect cozy Christmas. Her 3 adopted daughters are coming home for the holidays and she can't wait to see them. Her tensions are running high. It's a really cute cover as well. But if I can get to that one, I will. But then that would mean I'm reading 3 of her books this year, so I might need to slow down a little bit. Okay, and then we have a few more. We have Silent Night. It says, people are greedy and Christmas intensifies to sickening heights. Most don't need the stuff they ask for, but I do, which is why while family enjoys their holiday cheer and traditions, they don't see me slip in and out of their homes, snatching their possessions. Oh, we have a kleptomaniac. Don't get me started. Do not get me started. Okay, and then we have Her Last Christmas. This is for free. See, I downloaded The Most Wonderful Crime Idea. I'm gonna listen to that. And then we have The Christmas Party, which I've already read actually. And then we have Checking It Twice. I don't know, it says it's a hockey romance thing. I don't know if I'm gonna actually get to this, but it's on my Hoopla. So yeah. And then we have The Christmas Corpse. I don't know, it says a Christmas cozy mystery, and the girl's last name is Marple, so I'm assuming like also it's not her real last name, but she's going for like the Miss Marple thing from Agatha Christie, whatever. And then we have Tis the Season for Revenge, and this says Abby Keller thought that Richard Bartholomew Benson III would be her forever. In their 4 years of dating, she never doubted that she wouldn't end up with his grandma's engagement ring on her finger. Sure, she had to change a few things about herself to fit the mold, like dyeing her hair, dressing more conservatively, and finding, oh, absolutely not. So I'm glad she got out of that. So I'm assuming she gets revenge on this guy, maybe. That's a really cute cover though. Cute cover. So these are all the books that are on my radar really for this Christmas season, and I'm just gonna be reading them and having a grand old time. And yeah, I'm gonna start reading, one of them, and then yeah, get ready for work and go. And yeah, anyways, I'm gonna actually end this video here now, because also guys, I said I was gonna do Bookmas and vlogmas. I got behind. I always get behind, but I'm hoping this next week I have a few days off. Well, I have 2 days in a row off. Wait, do I have a day off tomorrow? Wait, do I? Please, hang on. Yes, I have a day off tomorrow, so my plan is lots of unpacking, lots of cleaning, also then reading books, and yeah, reading Christmas books and getting, posting more things. Okay, I'm sorry. It takes me a long time to do things. But okay, that's that. I'm going to go now, because I'm literally, as the time progresses, I'm going to try to quickly make my thumbnail. Lots of can be in it. People are going to be like, why is there random bed? I'll put lots of bed to cover the box. Alright. He can be in my thumbnail. Okay, goodbye everyone. I will see you very soon.